we have a user that's messaging the Blue Coffee website. So the way we do that, we have a chat, which is embedded by like a JavaScript code to our website. Whenever a person, a customer loads the website, they have the chat widget, they click on it, and they start a conversation. This chatbot is powered by VoiceFlow. VoiceFlow is a service that provides these kind of widgets for chat, and it provides a way to create a logic into that for the voice chat, like different buttons for starting the conversation, and then being able to access additional data, right? Then we have the AI agent, which is inside Make, the Make AI agent, which is powered by OpenAI. This is triggered by a webhook. So a webhook is think about it like a link, right? Somebody sends a message, and then that data goes towards that link, which is it's a post of data towards that link, towards that endpoint, and then inside Make, you just get the data instantly, right? So in milliseconds. And then with that, you can connect the data that you received on this webhook to the next steps that you need to take in the flow. And we'll show that a bit live on our demo. Then the AI takes a decision. If it needs to go to one of the functions, you can see here some examples of our function is like, whenever somebody starts asking about an order, we want them to make sure it's the right person and they have the right access. So the bot, it's instructioned to ask first for the email. It will send the code and then verify the code. So then we have a function that generates and emails the code, and then we have another function to verify the code. Very important here, like a note, if somebody plans to do that, because the idea of this webinar is for any of you to try it yourself, right? And by the way, if you want to get our blueprints to play with it, let us know and we'll send out the blueprints. Very important, when you generate the code, don't tell the AI the code, because somebody might be smart enough to keep asking questions until they get the code. We just tell the AI we send the code, the user will get the code, and the verify code function goes to a data store in Make, verifies if the code is the same, and then confirms to AI, yes, the code is correct, you can pass, and you can give it more order information to the customer, or create an order for that matter. And then we have additional functions for verify order status, verify shipping status, create order, and so on. So based on the scenarios that are powering those functions, the AI will get that instant knowledge about a user order and then reply back to the user. Very important here, the AI does not have access to all our system directly. It cannot really see all the orders in our system, all the data in our CRM. It just gets exactly the order that the customer is asking for, right? And it lives only on this conversation. And also maybe important for some of you on the call, on the OpenAI API, there's no training by OpenAI, right? So all this data, it has its privacy correlated with it, right? So we're not sharing this data with OpenAI in any way, except with the model, and their privacy is very strong on this. Somebody messaged the assistant. We have a step inside VoiceFlow where you have the setup of the assistant. You can see here, whenever somebody clicks on help me with my order, there's going to be a capture of the reply from the user, and then we send that request towards this link, which is the webhook, which will send back the response from the AI, and then it will reply to the user. And then there is a loop between a conversation loop between the AI agent and the user or the customer on our website, right? And think about if you would, instead of doing this inside VoiceFlow here, if you would do that in a scenario that's starting with a WhatsApp or with a Telegram module, this will be at the same time using the same agent inside WhatsApp and helping your customer directly in WhatsApp. The next step will be the scenario itself that gets the data with OpenAI module that's doing the computation and going over API towards OpenAI. And we're getting an answer, we're structuring the answer and sending it back to the webhook. And then we have the additional scenarios, which are function scenarios. You see, very easy. Generate a code, put that in the database, reply it back. Go to SameDay here on the right top side. It's our shipping provider. We get the order, it goes to SameDay by API. checks if it's already shipped, checks if it's waiting somewhere, has the exact status of that shipping right now. Then if we generate a code, you see there is an email there, creating an order, you see there the Shopify, like going back to Shopify to create the line items and then create the order for the customer. Before we go into Make, which is very important, let me just show you what are the different steps in order to achieve something like this. Okay, so first of all, you need to go to OpenAI website, you sign up for, not for ChatGPT, by the way, you sign up for the API, okay, very careful there. And you go to their assistant tabs and you create an assistant, right? So this is where you create a new assistant. In my case, I have here the Blue Coffee bot. And then you need to define, okay, you define the module that's using here. I'm even using, see here, an older version. I could switch it to the latest one, which is 4.0, but I'm not going to do this now. Maybe we're going to have an issue with it. So then we have the instruction. So I recommend you write as good as possible instruction to make it very clear what this AI is supposed to do, right? What different functionality it has. And then on the bottom side, you have the functions, which, as you can see, get shipping history, get order, create authorization code, validate user code, send the generated code, get order information, and so on, right? So these are the functions that, let's see, like this one, get order information, right? These are the functions that are powering this assistant. It might look a bit codish and a bit complicated. It's not so complicated. If just read it, right? Name, description, strict. Is it strict or not, right? You just say yes or no. Very easy for everybody. You get this code very nicely. You copy it from here, or for that matter, you can use one of the examples, like get the weather one. It's very easy. You copy it. You want to do something, think about what are the parameters that you want your function to do. Like if you want to send an email, you need to understand what is the email and what information do you want to send, as an example, right? So then if you go to a ChatGPT, as easy as go to ChatGPT, say, help me create a function to send an email to customers based on this example. And if you specify, hey, this is for OpenAI API, and you say which parameters and so on, it will know a little better to do. And there is a custom GPT to do that, right? But I just want to show you, hey, it's not very hard to really do that. Just use ChatGPT. It will ask you to do that function, and it will write the code for you. Okay? Try that. Okay, now it's kind of, because I didn't say probably it's for OpenAI, it will not do it properly. Use the custom GPT for that, okay? Then we have the voice flow setup where we have some starting points. Let me close this a bit. So here we have the voice flow setup where I have a Blue Coffee bot. This has the starting conditions, right? And it tells, okay, which are the options for the user to take. You just personalize that. And then you have one webhook where you send the data. And this is where we also do the thread ID. So we capture here the thread ID. So every time you send a new message, it will go to the exact same thread, and the AI will continue the same conversation. And then there we go. We go to Make, right? So what does it happen in Make? So in Make, we have what we call a webhook. So this is an instant trigger. So whenever you send data to this link that we're creating now, so I'm going to create a new one, just say like AI bot, for example, and then I get a link. So all the data that will be sent to this link, it will show up in this scenario, all right? So once we get the data from that link, we go to OpenAI. Message an assistant, and here, okay, we create a connection. We need to select the assistant that was just built. As you can see, I have some here. And then very, very importantly, all the functions that were defined inside the assistant, you will see it here, right? So I have the different functions, and then the make module is expecting us to provide a URL, right? So what that URL is, if we build a function, for example, I have here create authorization code. We have a function. We start again with a webhook. We have a simple generate code where we do like a generate random code. We put that in a database and respond back, right? So then all I need to do is copy this address, the link from here, go back to the scenario and put it here, right? So with that, and then I complete all the setup of my module. I'll jump into my initial scenario, not to spend like 10 minutes configuring this, but you can see here all the setup of the bot, which is all the different functions. You define the message connected to a webhook. You define your somewhere here the assistant, and that's it. We get the message and we reply back. Awesome. Right. So then if I go back to voice flow for a second, if I didn't lose that, okay. So let's run it once, right? So I could run this directly on the website, or you can run it directly here in Webflow, in voice flow. So once somebody is pushing this, I need help with my order. I would say, hi, can you give me the status of my order? We'll get, you see, it was already triggered, right? To help you with your order status, I will need the order reference, or I can provide something to authenticate myself, right? So let me just go quickly, right, into the chatbot, right? Here, I'm going to discard. You see, there was a few seconds ago, we had this running, and this generated the answer, right? So you get that code generated here. Now, if I put, hey, this is my email for authentication, it will send me an email for that. So it will start using the get function and the other functions to really power that. Mm-hmm. Okay. So just to wrap up on how this is done, we have the voice flow. Again, that's messaging the scenario. Voice flow will send the data to Make. Make will get it over a webhook, use the OpenAI module to computate the answer, right? The AI will decide if it knows the answer. For example, at the beginning, based on instruction, it will just tell you, hi, I'm here to support you with your order. I need your order number, right? Or if it needs to do something, it will go do that action on those functions.